Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I talk about all things GTA. In this video, I'm going to analyze the choice you have to make in GTA 4, and this choices actually affect game a lot. So what are the worst possible choices you can make? Let's find out. Let's start with the first one. This choice is one of the first moral dilemmas you face in GTA 4, and it has some consequences for the rest of the game. Let's see what happens after each choice, and which one is the worst possible choice here. If you choose to date Michelle first, you will go to the bowling alley with her and have a nice time. However, Roman will call you and ask for your help, as he is being beaten up by some Albanian loan sharks. You can ignore his call and continue with the date, or you can hold up Michelle and go to rescue Roman. If you ignore Roman, he will call you again after the date, and you will have to take him to the hospital before beating up the loan sharks. This will make Roman unhappy with you, and he will lose some respect and like for you. He will also mention this choice later in the game, and it will affect his dialogue with you. If you hold up Michelle, she will be annoyed with you, and she will end the date early. You will have to call her again later to apologize and arrange another date. This will make Michelle unhappy with you, and she will lose some fondness and trust for you. She will also mention this choice later in the game, and it will affect her dialogue with you. But if you choose to rescue Roman first, you will skip the date with Michelle and go to the basketball court where Roman is being attacked. You will have to fight the loan sharks and chase one of them to his hideout. You can kill him or spare him, but either way, you will save Roman from his debt. This will make Roman happy with you, and he will gain some respect and like for you. He will also reward you with some money and the ability to hang out with him. He will not mention this choice later in the game, and it will not affect his dialogue with you. If you hold up Michelle, she will be annoyed with you, and she will end the date early. You will have to call her again later to apologize and arrange another date. This will make Michelle unhappy with you, and she will lose some fondness and trust for you. She will also mention this choice later in the game, and it will affect her dialogue with you. But if you choose to rescue Roman first, you will skip the date with Michelle and go to the basketball court where Roman is being attacked. You will have to fight the loan sharks and chase one of them to his hideout. You can kill him or spare him, but either way, you will save Roman from his debt. This will make Roman happy with you, and he will gain some respect and like for you. He will also reward you with some money and the ability to hang out with him. He will not mention this choice later in the game, and it will not affect his dialogue with you. But let me tell you, you will have to call Michelle later to apologize and arrange another date. She will be understanding and forgiving, and she will not lose any fondness or trust for you. She will not mention this choice later in the game, and it will not affect her dialogue with you. So which choice is the worst possible choice here? Well, it depends on your perspective and your priorities. If you care more about your relationship with Roman, then you should rescue him first. If you care more about your relationship with Michelle, then you should date her first. But there are some things to consider before you make your decision. Let me help to you. First of all, Roman is your cousin and your only family in Liberty City. He is also your main source of income and support in the early game. He will help you with missions, give you access to his taxi service, and introduce you to other characters. He is also loyal and grateful to you, and he will always have your back. Michelle, on the other hand, is your first girlfriend and a potential love interest. She is also a nice and friendly person who will show you around the city and invite you to her apartment. She is also curious and interested in you, and she will ask you questions about your past and your future. However, there is a twist. Michelle is not who she seems to be. She is actually an undercover agent working for the government, and she is spying on you and your activities. She will eventually betray you and reveal her true identity, and she will force you to work for her boss, who is a corrupt and ruthless agent. This means that your relationship with Michelle is based on a lie, and she will use you and manipulate you for her own agenda. She will also report everything you do to her boss, and she will put you in danger and trouble. She will not care about your feelings or your well-being, and she will not help you in any way. Therefore, the worst possible choice here is to date Michelle first and ignore Roman. This will not only damage your relationship with Roman, but also waste your time and energy on a fake and treacherous girlfriend. You will also miss out on the benefits and rewards of saving Roman, and you will have to deal with the consequences and complications of dating Michelle. The best possible choice here is to rescue Roman first and date Michelle later. This will not only improve your relationship with Roman, but also avoid the drawbacks and risks of dating Michelle. You will also enjoy the advantages and perks of saving Roman, and you will have a chance to discover the truth about Michelle. Next mission is Ivan the Not-So-Terrible. It's kinda important. The mission starts with Vlad, a Russian loan shark, telling Nico that he has to kill Ivan, a thief who has upset Vlad's boss, Mikhail Faustin. Vlad says that if Nico doesn't do it, both he and his cousin Roman will be in trouble. Nico reluctantly agrees and goes to Roman's cab depot, where Ivan is already making an escape in his sports car. Nico has to chase Ivan through the streets of Broker until he reaches a construction site, where Ivan abandons his car and runs up the ladders. Nico follows him and they end up on the rooftops, jumping from building to building. Eventually, Ivan reaches a dead end and falls off a catwalk, hanging on for his life. Nico catches up with him and has to make a decision: spare him or kill him. If Nico chooses to spare Ivan, he will pull him up and let him go. Ivan will thank him and promise to leave town. He will also become a random character that Nico can encounter later in the game, and he will give Nico a tip about a bank robbery that he can participate in. Sparing Ivan will not affect the main storyline or Nico's relationship with Vlad or Faustin. If Nico chooses to kill Ivan, he will either shoot him or stomp on his fingers, sending him falling to his death. Nico will say that he had to do it for Vlad and that Ivan brought it on himself. Killing Ivan will also not affect the main storyline or Nico's relationship with Vlad or Faustin. However, Nico will miss out on the chance to meet Ivan again and get involved in the bank robbery. So, which choice is better? Well, if you want to be more ruthless and stick to the main missions, you might want to kill Ivan. Personally, I think sparing Ivan is the better choice, because it shows that Nico is not a cold-blooded killer, and that he can make his own decisions, regardless of what Vlad or Faustin want. It also adds more variety and fun to the game, as you can meet Ivan again and join him in a heist. Killing Ivan, on the other hand, seems unnecessary and cruel, and it doesn't really benefit Nico in any way. That's my opinion, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Now let's take a closer look at the mission Rough Rider, where Nico has to deal with Jayvon, the snitch who got Dwayne arrested, and his ex-girlfriend Cherise. This mission is given to Nico by Dwayne, who is a friend of Playboy X. Dwayne is depressed and angry because he spent years in prison for drug trafficking, while Jayvon, his former partner, ratted him out and stole his money. Jayvon is also dating Cherise, who was Dwayne's girlfriend before he went to jail. Dwayne tells Nico that he wants his money back from Jayvon, and that he doesn't care what happens to Cherise. Nico agrees to help Dwayne and goes to the arcade in Chinatown, where Jayvon and Cherise are hanging out. When Nico gets there, he sees Jayvon and Cherise talking outside the arcade. Jayvon notices Nico and shoots at him with a micro SMG, then runs away on a Hellfury. Nico has to chase him down and get Dwayne's money back. But before that, he has to make a choice: spare or kill Cherise. This is the first choice in the game that affects Dwayne's friendship level with Nico. Dwayne's friendship level determines whether he will like Nico or not, and whether he will give Nico his special ability of sending 2 armed goons to help him in a fight. Dwayne's friendship level also affects the outcome of another mission later in the game, called the Holland Play, where Nico has to choose between killing Dwayne or Playboy X. So, what happens if you spare or kill Cherise? If you spare Cherise, Dwayne will be happy that she is alive, even though she cheated on him. He will say that she is just an idiot and that he still loves her. This will increase his friendship level by 10%. Cherise will also appear as a random encounter later in the game, where she will ask Nico to save her from an abusive boyfriend. If Nico helps her, she will thank him and give him her phone number. Nico can then call her and go on a date with her, although this has no impact on the story. If you kill Cherise, Dwayne will also be happy, but for a different reason. He will say that she deserved to die for being such a bitch, and that he hates her. This will increase his friendship level by 5%. Cherise will obviously not appear as a random encounter, and Nico will not be able to date her. I think killing Cherise is the worst choice here. Not only because it's cruel and unnecessary, but also because it makes Dwayne more miserable and lonely. Dwayne is already a sad and broken man who lost everything he had. Killing Cherise will only make him feel more bitter and hopeless. That's what I think. Next mission is Holland Nights. The mission starts with Nico going to the projects in East Holland, where Clarence and his gang are located. Nico has to fight his way through the building and chase Clarence to the rooftop, where he has the option to kill him or let him live. This choice has different consequences for the game and the story, so let's see what they are. If Nico kills Clarence, he will get $5,000 from Francis, and the mission will be over. However, he will also lose the opportunity to encounter Clarence again as a random character later in the game. If Nico spares Clarence, he will still get the money from Francis, who will think that Clarence is dead. But Clarence will reappear as a random character on the north side of the apartment complex, where he will try to kill Nico in revenge. Nico will have to kill him then, or run away from him. So, which choice is better? Well, it depends on what you want from the game. If you want to complete the mission quickly and easily, killing Clarence is the best option. You will avoid the hassle of dealing with him later, and you will still get the reward. However, if you want to experience more of the game's content and challenge, sparing Clarence is the better option. You will get to see another side of Clarence's personality, and you will have an extra encounter that adds more variety and excitement to the game. Personally, I think sparing Clarence is the worst choice. Nico also has no reason to trust Clarence's promises of reforming, since he is clearly a liar and a coward. Sparing Clarence also puts Nico at risk of being attacked by him later, which could jeopardize his other missions and goals. Therefore, I think killing Clarence is the most logical and consistent choice for Nico. Now we're going to talk about the Holland play, one of the most important and controversial missions in GTA 4. In this mission, you have to make a tough decision. Kill Playboy X or Dwayne Forge. First, let's look at the consequences of killing Playboy X. If you choose to kill him, you will chase him from his penthouse to an alley, where you will execute him. After that, you will call Dwayne and tell him the news. Dwayne will be sad, but he will also be grateful to you. He will give you Playboy X's penthouse as a reward, which will become your new safe house. You will also get Claude's outfit, a reference to the protagonist of GTA 3, which you can find in the wardrobe. Additionally, Dwayne will become your friend, and you can hang out with him and do activities like bowling, drinking, or going to strip clubs. Dwayne will also send you backup if you call him during a firefight. Now let's look at the consequences of killing Dwayne. If you choose to kill him, you will go to his apartment and shoot him in his bed. After that, you will call Playboy X and tell him the news. Playboy X will be happy, but he will also be disappointed in you. He will give you $25,000 as a reward, but he will also cut ties with you. He will call you a cold-hearted killer and say that he never wants to see you again. You will lose Playboy X as a friend, and you will not be able to access his penthouse or his car. You will also lose the respect of some of the other characters, like Nico's cousin Roman and his girlfriend Kate, who will criticize you for killing Dwayne. I think that killing Playboy X is the better option. You get a better reward. Playboy X's penthouse is a nice place to live, and it has a great view of the city. Claude's outfit is a cool Easter egg for GTA fans. Dwayne's friendship is also valuable, as he can provide you with support and companionship. $25,000, on the other hand, is not a lot of money in GTA 4, and you can easily make more by doing other missions or activities. You get a better moral outcome. Playboy X is a selfish and ruthless person who betrays his mentor and tries to kill him. He is also arrogant and hypocritical, as he claims to be a community leader, but he is actually a drug dealer and a murderer. Dwayne, on the other hand, is a sympathetic and loyal person who suffers from depression and loneliness. He is also humble and generous, as he gives you his penthouse and his friendship. Killing Playboy X is more justified than killing Dwayne, and it makes you feel less guilty. You get a better story outcome. Killing Playboy X is more consistent with Nico's character arc, as he learns to value friendship and family over money and power. It also sets up a contrast with Dmitry Raskolov, the main antagonist of the game, who is also a traitor and a backstabber. Killing Dwayne, on the other hand, is more inconsistent with Nico's character arc, as he becomes more cynical and greedy. It also makes the game more boring, as you lose a potential friend and a source of fun. In my opinion, the worst choice is to kill Dwayne. Not only do you lose a friend and a potential ally, but you also betray your own morals and values. Nico came to Liberty City to escape his past and find a new life, not to become a heartless assassin for money. Killing Dwayne goes against everything that Nico stands for, and it makes him no better than the people he hates. Furthermore, killing Dwayne does not benefit Nico in any way, as he only gets a small amount of cash and loses the respect of his cousin and his girlfriend. Killing Dwayne is a lose-lose situation, and it makes the game less enjoyable and satisfying. Next important choice is in the mission Portrait of a Killer, where Nico Bellic is hired by the United Liberty paper contact to assassinate Adam Dimayev, a Russian criminal who is financing terrorist activity in Liberty City. The mission starts with a cutscene where Nico meets the contact at his office and receives a picture of Dimayev on his phone. The contact tells Nico that he needs to find Dimayev using the police computer in a cop car and kill him and his guards. He also mentions that he always uses people like Nico and Karen, who was Nico's girlfriend Michelle in disguise. After the cutscene, Nico needs to get a cop car and access the police computer. He can use the search by photo option to locate Dimayev, who is in East Island City, Dukes. Nico then drives to the Kamyshev import/export compound, where Dimayev and his goons are hanging out. There are two ways to approach the compound, from the front or from the right side. If Nico goes from the front, he will have to deal with more guards, and Dimayev will try to escape to the roof of a nearby building. If Nico goes from the right side, he can sneak up on Dimayev, who is in the doorway of a small parking hut, and kill him before he runs away. However, if Nico kills Dimayev before his guards, the last surviving goon will drop his gun and beg for his life. Nico then has a choice to kill or spare him. If Nico kills the goon, he will say, "You should not play with guns, my friend," or "You should have found a better way to live." If Nico spares the goon, he will say, "Get out of here before I change my mind," or "Go and sin no more." The goon will then run away and thank Nico for sparing him. After killing or sparing the goon, Nico will call the contact and report that he has killed Dimayev and his men. The contact will say that he is impressed and that he will be in touch. The mission is then completed and Nico will receive $6,750 as a reward. So what is the worst possible choice in this mission, and what is its impact on the game? Sparing the goon is the worst choice because it is risky and foolish. Nico already killed Dimayev and his other guards, so there is no reason to spare the last one who could be a potential witness or enemy. Sparing the goon also shows that Nico is soft and naive, and that he has no sense of justice or vengeance for his enemies. This could affect Nico's reputation and his safety, as the goon could report Nico to the police, the Russians, or other gangs, or even come back to kill Nico himself. In my opinion, sparing the goon is the worst choice, because I think that Nico should not take any chances and should eliminate anyone who is involved in the terrorist plot. I also think that Nico should not show any mercy to the people who betrayed him, such as Dimayev, who was working with the same agency that set up Nico in the first place. What do you think? Which choice do you prefer and why? Next is Late Checkout, a mission where you have to kill Isaac Roth and his diamond dealers at the Majestic Hotel. This mission has a choice that affects the outcome. You can either kill or spare one of Isaac's associates in the kitchen. First, let's talk about the mission itself. Late Checkout is given to you by Ray Boccino, an Italian mobster who is angry at Isaac for blaming him for the diamond deal gone wrong. Ray wants you to go to the hotel and eliminate Isaac and his crew. You can choose to enter the hotel either by the lobby elevator or by the window cleaning platform. Either way, you will have to fight your way through many guards until you reach the penthouse suite. The first target you encounter is one of Isaac's associates in the kitchen. He will beg for his life and offer you money to spare him. You can either accept his offer and let him go, or shoot him and take the money anyway. If you spare him, he will run away and you will get a 2-star wanted level. If you kill him, you will get a 3-star wanted level. The difference is not very significant, as you can easily lose the cops by driving away from the hotel. The second target is Isaac himself, who is in his bedroom with a girl. You can either shoot him from the door or enter the room and trigger a cutscene where you execute him with a pistol. If you kill the girl, it will not affect the mission. Isaac will drop some money and a combat pistol. The third and final target is another associate of Isaac, who is on the roof with some more guards. You can either shoot him from a distance or get closer and use the propane tank to blow him up. He will fall down the building and land on a car, causing an explosion. You will also get some money and a combat pistol from him. After you kill all the targets, you have to escape from the hotel and call Ray to complete the mission. Ray will be happy that you took care of Isaac and will pay you $11,000. He will also tell you that he doesn't need your services anymore, as he has some problems with his boss, Jimmy Pegorino. This will end your association with Ray and the Pegorino family. Now, let's analyze the choice of killing or sparing the associate in the kitchen. Which one is the worst possible choice, and why? Well, in my opinion, the worst choice is to spare him. Next choice is in the mission Blood Brothers. Blood Brothers is a mission that starts when Francis McReary, a corrupt cop and one of the brothers of the Irish crime family, asks Nico Bellic to assassinate his older brother Derrick McReary, a former bank robber and drug addict. Francis claims that Derrick is a threat to the city and his career, as he has evidence of Francis's corruption and plans to expose him to the media. Francis arranges a meeting with Derrick at a park and tells Nico to snipe him from a nearby rooftop. Things get complicated when Derrick calls Nico, and tells him that he knows Francis wants him dead and asks Nico to kill Francis instead. Derrick says that Francis is a bad cop who abuses his power and kills innocent people, while he himself is just a victim of his past. Derrick also reminds Nico that they have worked together on several jobs and have a bond of friendship. Nico then has to make a choice: kill Francis or Derrick. This choice has different outcomes and impacts on the game. First, let's see what happens if you kill Francis. If you do that, you will get a thank you call from Derrick, who will express his gratitude and relief. He will also promise to help Nico if he ever needs anything. However, this is the last time you will hear from him, as he will not contact you again or give you any more missions. You will also have to attend Francis's funeral in the next mission, Undertaker, where you will have to protect the coffin from Albanian gangsters who want to kill the McReary family. During the funeral, you will see the grief and anger of the other McReary brothers, especially Patrick, who will blame Nico for Francis's death and threaten to kill him. You will also lose the ability to call Francis and ask him to remove your wanted level, which can be very useful in some situations. What happens if you kill Derrick? If you do that, you will get a call from Francis, who will pay you $20,000 for the job and thank you for saving his career. He will also offer you his service of clearing your wanted level whenever you need it, which you can use by calling him on your phone. You will also have to attend Derrick's funeral in the next mission, Undertaker, where you will have to protect the coffin from the same Albanian gangsters. During the funeral, you will see the sadness and regret of the other McReary brothers, especially Patrick, who will mourn Derrick's death and apologize to Nico for being angry with him. You will also get a chance to meet Kate McReary, the sister of the McReary brothers, who will express her sympathy for Nico and start a romantic relationship with him, if you choose to date her. If we look at the game's logic and consequences, we can argue that killing Francis is the worst possible choice for several reasons. First, killing Francis will make you lose a valuable ally who can help you escape the police, which can be very handy in some missions and situations. Second, killing Francis will make you lose the opportunity to date Kate, who is the only girlfriend in the game who will not dump you if you choose the revenge ending, where you kill Dmitry Raskolov, the main antagonist. Third, killing Francis will make you lose the respect and friendship of Patrick, who is one of the most loyal and helpful characters in the game, who will assist you in several missions and heists, and who will give you access to his car bomb service. Fourth, killing Francis will make you feel guilty and remorseful, as you will have to face the consequences of your choice in the funeral and in the phone calls from the other McReary brothers, who will blame you and curse you for killing their brother. On the other hand, killing Derrick will not have any major negative effects on the game, except for losing a minor character who will not give you any more missions or benefits. You will still be able to date Kate, who will not care about Derrick's death, and will even support you if you choose the revenge ending. You will still be friends with Patrick, who will forgive you and continue to help you in the game. You will also feel less guilty and more justified, as you will have to face the consequences of your choice in the funeral and in the phone calls from the other McReary brothers, who will understand your decision and thank you for killing their brother. Therefore, based on the game's logic and consequences, killing Francis is the worst possible choice, while killing Derrick is the better choice. However, this does not mean that you have to follow this logic and make this choice. You can still choose to kill whoever you want, based on your own preference and morality. GTA 4 is a game that gives you the freedom to make your own choices and live with the consequences, whether they are good or bad. That's what makes it a great game and a great story. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That special someone. This is the mission where Nico Bellic finally confronts Darko Brevic, the man who betrayed his army unit during the Yugoslav War and caused the death of most of his friends. Nico has been searching for Darko throughout the game, and with the help of the United Liberty paper contact, he gets the chance to face him at the cargo bay of Francis International Airport. But what happens next depends on the player's choice, to spare or kill Darko. In this video, I'm going to explain the consequences of each choice and which one is the worst possible choice for Nico and the game's story. Let's start with the option to spare Darko. If the player chooses this option, Nico will walk away from Darko, who is handcuffed and begging for death. Nico will tell him that killing him won't make him feel any better, and that Darko is already suffering enough from his drug addiction and guilt. Nico will also say that he is not like Darko, and that he still has some integrity and power to be good. Roman, who accompanied Nico to the airport, will praise Nico for his decision and tell him that they should leave the past behind and focus on the future. Nico will agree, but he will also say that he doesn't know what to do with his life now that he has found Darko. The mission will end with Nico and Roman driving away from the airport. The option to spare Darko has some positive effects on the game's story and Nico's character development. First of all, it shows that Nico is capable of forgiveness and compassion, even for someone who wronged him so badly. It also shows that Nico is not a cold-blooded killer, but a human being who has a moral code and a conscience. By sparing Darko, Nico also breaks the cycle of violence and revenge that has plagued his life, and he opens the possibility of finding peace and happiness. Furthermore, by sparing Darko, Nico strengthens his bond with Roman, who is his only family and friend in Liberty City. Roman is proud of Nico for his choice, and he supports him in his quest for a new life. Roman also invites Nico to his wedding with McReary, which is a happy occasion that Nico deserves to attend. Now let's move on to the option to kill Darko. If the player chooses this option, Nico will shoot Darko 12 times, 1 bullet for each of his dead friends. Darko will fall to the ground, dead, and Nico will stand over his body, feeling nothing. Nico will tell him that he has ruined his life and that he hopes he will rot in hell. Roman, who accompanied Nico to the airport, will be shocked and disappointed by Nico's decision, and he will tell him that killing Darko won't change anything and that he should have walked away. Nico will say that he had no choice and that he had to do it for himself. The mission will end with Nico and Roman driving away from the airport. First of all, it shows that Nico is a man of action and justice, who doesn't let anyone get away with hurting him or his friends. It also shows that Nico is a loyal and faithful person, who honors the memory of his dead friends and avenges their deaths. By killing Darko, Nico also eliminates a threat and a source of pain from his life, and he closes a chapter of his past that has tormented him for years. So, which option is the worst possible choice for Nico and the game's story? In my opinion, the option to kill Darko is the worst possible choice, for several reasons. First of all, it goes against the theme and the message of the game, which is that violence and revenge are not the solutions to the problems of life, and that they only lead to more suffering and loss. The game tries to show that Nico is not a mindless killer, but a complex and conflicted character who has a chance to redeem himself and find a better way. By killing Darko, Nico contradicts this idea, and he becomes a tragic and hopeless figure who can't escape from his past and his demons. I think that the option to spare Darko is the best possible choice for Nico and the game's story, for several reasons. First of all, it fits with the theme and the message of the game, which is that forgiveness and compassion are the virtues that can help the characters overcome their struggles and find their happiness. The game tries to show that Nico is a human being who has a heart and a soul and who can change and grow as a person. Now I'm going to analyze the final mission of GTA 4, One Last Thing, and the 2 endings that you can choose from: Deal or Revenge. One Last Thing is a mission where Nico Bellic has to decide whether to strike a deal with his former enemy, Dmitry Raskolov, or to kill him and end their feud once and for all. This choice is presented to him by Jimmy Pegorino, a mafia boss who wants Nico to help him with a heroin deal involving Dmitry. Nico is reluctant to work with Dmitry again, as he betrayed him and tried to kill him several times in the past. Nico calls his cousin Roman and his girlfriend Kate to ask for their advice. Roman tells him to do the deal, as it would give them a lot of money and a chance to start a new life. Kate tells him not to do the deal, as it would go against his morals and his desire to leave his violent past behind. Depending on what Nico chooses, the game will have a different ending, with different consequences for the characters. Let's look at each option and see what happens. If Nico chooses to do the deal, he will go to the mission if the price is right. He will meet Phil Bell, Pegorino's right-hand man, and they will drive to the docks where the deal is supposed to take place. However, they soon find out that Dmitry has double-crossed them and killed the buyers. Nico and Phil have to fight their way out of the docks and escape with the money. Nico then calls Roman and tells him that the deal went wrong, but they still have the money. Roman tells him to come to his wedding with McReary, as he wants to celebrate with him. Nico goes to the wedding, but as he is about to enter the church, he sees a car pull up and a gunman shoot at the crowd. Nico tries to stop him, but it is too late. The gunman is revealed to be an assassin sent by Dmitry, and he has killed Roman. Nico is devastated and vows to get revenge on Dmitry. He tracks him down to an abandoned casino, where he also finds Pegorino, who is allied with Dmitry. Nico kills them both and avenges Roman, but he is left alone and broken. If Nico chooses to take revenge, he will go to the mission A Dish Served Cold. He will go to the cargo ship where Dimitri is hiding and fight his way through his men. He will confront Dimitri and kill him, ending their conflict for good. Nico then calls Pegorino and tells him that he has killed Dimitri and that he is done working for him. Pegorino is furious and threatens to kill Nico. Nico then calls Kate and tells her that he has killed Dimitri and that he is sorry for not listening to her. Kate tells him that she is proud of him and that she wants to go to Roman's wedding with him. Nico goes to the wedding with Kate, but as they are leaving the church, he sees a car drive by and shoot at the crowd. Nico tries to stop it, but it is too late. The car is driven by Pegorino, who has come to kill Nico. Pegorino misses Nico, but he hits Kate. Kate dies in Nico's arms, and Nico is heartbroken. He chases Pegorino to Happiness Island, where he kills him and ends his threat, but he is left alone and grieving. So, which ending is the worst possible choice, and which one is the canon one? What I think is that Roman is also a more important character in the game, as he is involved in many missions and activities, and he provides Nico with a safe house, a taxi service, and a phone friend. Losing Roman means losing a lot of gameplay options and emotional support. The deal ending also goes against Nico's character arc, as he chooses money over loyalty and justice, and he fails to learn from his mistakes. The revenge ending, on the other hand, is considered the canon one by most fans, as it is more consistent with Nico's personality and story. Nico chooses to end his cycle of violence and betrayal by killing Dimitri, who is his main enemy and the source of his troubles. Nico also follows his own code of honor and his moral compass, rather than being influenced by others. The revenge ending also has more references and connections to the other GTA games, such as the Ballad of Gay Tony in GTA 5. For example, in the Ballad of Gay Tony, one of the characters mentions that Dimitri is dead, and in GTA 5, Nico's Life Invader page shows that he still works at Roman's cab company, implying that Roman is alive. Of course, these are not official statements by Rockstar Games, and you are free to choose whichever ending you prefer. But I hope this video has given you some insight into the final mission of GTA 4 and the 2 endings that you can choose from. So, we are done. These were the 10 important story choices you must make in the game, and let me know which one you picked or going to pick. Finally, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care, and have a nice day.